Hey, you're back. Welcome to Soft Static with Lisa Nova. It's a quiet Saturday night here in Ailington, and the rain hasn't stopped tapping on the windows. I don't think it ever really does. Before we drift into tonight's sounds, I just want to say thank you for tuning in last week. Whether you were listening with a mug of something warm or just lying back in the hush of your room, I felt you there, and that means more than you probably know. This show is for the ones who like to sit in stillness, for those who find peace in the pauses between things. So let's take another slow breath together and let it all fade away for a while. You're listening to Soft Static. Let's begin. That was Midnight Window by Owls in Reverb, one of those tracks that feels like it was written just for late night souls like us. You know, the kind, barefoot, half wrapped in blankets, just watching the world breathe. I'll be honest, doing this show, it wasn't an easy yes for me. Not because I didn't want to, but because I'm, well, an introvert. Probably like a lot of you. Talking out loud into a mic felt unnatural at first. There's this lingering voice in my head going, "Who are you to take up space with your quiet thoughts?" But here's what makes it okay. It's just me in this little room, and somewhere out there, it's just you in your little room. We're all tucked away in our own corners of the night. But somehow this static hum and these slow songs connect us. And knowing that you're there, that this helps you unwind or breathe a bit easier after a hard week, that's what keeps me coming back to the mic. So, thank you for listening, and thank you for giving me the courage to speak. It's quiet, but it's real. Up next is Train Station Weather by Glass Blanket. It's out on Lantern Moss Recordings, a tiny label somewhere up north, I think. They press everything by hand, late at night. I love that. Hey, if you ever want to say hello or tell me where you're listening from, you can always reach me at Lisa Nova Soft Static at pm.me. I read everything. Sometimes I read them twice. It's nice to know what the night sounds like where you are. I got an email the other night from someone named Callum, writing in from a little village near the edge of Dartmoor. He said, "Hi Lisa, I listened to last week's show while driving back from my night shift. The roads were empty, and it was just the headlights, your voice, and the music keeping me company. There's something comforting about how unhurried it all is. By the time I got home, I didn't feel wired like I usually do. I just made a cup of tea and sat in the silence for a while." Callum, thank you. That's exactly what this show is here for, to make space for that quiet after the noise. Callum's message reminded me of this next one. It's Low Ceiling Warm Light by a duo called Peeling Wallpaper. They started out recording in an old council flat that one of them inherited from their nan, kept all the furniture just as it was, said it made the reverb feel more honest. We get caught up chasing big things, but those minuscule, quiet details, they're where the world breathes. The faint scrape of a spoon against a mug, the subtle change in light when a cloud passes overhead, the gentle, almost forgotten scent of worn leather on a jacket hanging in a hall. These little things don't ask for attention. They just are, quietly waiting for us to notice. And when we do, there's a strange kind of stillness that follows. Maybe it's a reminder that life's softness often hides in the small, almost invisible moments we usually overlook. Find a quiet moment and look for something small, something you usually wouldn't notice. Try closing your eyes for a moment and listen, not for anything big or urgent, but for the softest sounds around you, a clock ticking, the distant hum of traffic, or even the subtle rustle of paper. If you catch your mind wandering, gently bring it back to these tiny details. It's in these little things, the often overlooked and seemingly mundane, where a quiet kind of beauty waits. So, keep your eyes and ears soft tonight. You might be surprised what slips quietly into your awareness. And speaking of small moments, here's a track that feels like a whisper in the quiet spaces. Paper Cranes by The Willow Thread. This one's from their debut album, released on Quiet Corner Records, a label dedicated to songs that feel like secrets told softly. Before I play the next track, I want to share a little story about the duo behind it, Mothlight Reverie. They were two introverts who met in a secondhand record shop on a rainy afternoon. Neither of them was great at small talk. In fact, they mostly stood silently in different aisles, occasionally glancing up when one pulled out a rare vinyl or a worn cassette tape. Eventually, one of them offered a slow smile and a quiet recommendation. "You might like this one." From that simple exchange, their connection began. They spent slow afternoons together, digging through crates of forgotten music, sampling sounds from old records, and piecing them into new, gentle compositions. What made their bond special was how naturally comfortable they felt in each other's quiet presence. There was no pressure to fill the silence with forced words or to perform the usual roles society expects of couples. No loud dates, no grand gestures, just shared space and a mutual understanding that comfort can be found in stillness. They found freedom in simply being themselves. Two people who didn't need to speak much, but whose silence was full of meaning. In a world that often demands energy, noise, and constant connection, their relationship was a quiet rebellion, love in their own way. Their studio was a tiny room rented from a landlord who only had one leg. They filled it with vinyl and shared passions. The low hum of a tape deck spinning was their soundtrack, and the music they created captured those pauses, those spaces between words, moments of connection that didn't need explanation. After being signed to the Smoky Bloody Mary label, they achieved much success and critical acclaim within the ambient world. However, in 2022, they retired from the music scene. They still live together in their own way and still produce tracks on a regular basis. Sadly, tracks we will never get to hear. Tracks special to them. We do, however, have their track, Silent Threads, born from those slow afternoons and woven with the comfort and calm they found in each other's company. Thanks to an old record shop, two minds that refused to conform to societal pressures, and a one-legged landlord,
strings drifting, hush your footsteps. I feel it. Half a glance, next note shares. We settle in, slow build. Trace low, tapping beat. Catch your eyes across the links. Barely say a thing, share this time. Hands in air, 2 drinks left. Waiting on the downstroke. Close enough, I feel us sing. Old house, keep pace. Your life rides a snare. Your rhythm speaks to mine. Every move underneath, no words, just a line. Your rhythm speaks to mine. We go with it. Shoulders roll, You answer with a side glance, spin the place, caught that grin. Every drum another way, we found where we fit. Hold me closer, don't rush. Broken phrases picking up, left unsaid, right here. Your wind beats to my held high tight in the sound, moving through the night. Your love speaks to mine. Your rhythm speaks to mine. Every beat I find, no words, just a line. Your rhythm speaks to mine. Again, again.
Before I share something personal, I want to explain a little idea I've been holding on to lately. The idea of unwritten letters. You know, those thoughts and feelings we never quite put into words, the letters we never send, the things we want to say but keep tucked away inside. Sometimes they're meant for people we've lost touch with, or maybe for ourselves, to remind us of the parts we're still figuring out. There's something quietly beautiful about holding on to those unwritten letters, not as regrets, but as gentle reminders of who we are and the spaces where we still grow. If I'm honest, I carry an unwritten letter of my own. I never wrote that letter down, not on paper, but somehow I remember every word. It begins simply, like a conversation with a friend. Dear you, I know things feel heavy right now. I know the silence can seem loud, but you're stronger than you realize. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to step back when the world feels too bright or too loud. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, not the people who expect you to be louder, faster, different. There's no rush to fit into the shapes others have carved out for you. You are enough as you are, even in your quiet moments and slow breaths. Remember to be gentle with yourself, to find peace in the small things, to hold on to the light that flickers, even in the darkest rooms. And if you ever feel lost, know that it's okay to rest, to pause, to simply be. That letter stays with me. was Midnight Carousel by The Velvet Axis, released on Crimson Owl Records. And just like that, we're coming to the end of another Soft Static session. Thank you truly for being here with me, for choosing to carve out this little pocket of quiet in your day. It means a lot, especially in a world that's always so loud and fast, where TikTokers and YouTubers are constantly buzzing, full of energy, pushing content, selling products, always demanding your attention. This show is different. It's a break from all that, a gentle space to slow down, to breathe, to feel whatever you're feeling without pressure or expectation. Tonight, we talked about the power of quiet connection, how sometimes the deepest bonds don't need words, just shared silences and understanding. We explored the beauty in the tiniest things, those small, often unnoticed moments that quietly shape our days. The scent of old paper, the weight of a single raindrop, the flicker of a street lamp's glow through a window. And we touched on those unwritten letters we carry inside. Thoughts we never say aloud, feelings we keep close to our hearts, not as regrets, but as gentle reminders of who we are and who we're becoming. If any of this spoke to you, if you have your own quiet stories or experiences of solace and stillness, I'd love to hear from you. You can always email me at lisanovasoftstatic@pm.me. No pressure, no rush, just a soft, safe space for sharing whenever you're ready. Thank you again for being part of this little community of solitudinarians, people who find strength and comfort in quiet moments, who know the value of stillness in a noisy world. The show was produced by the Elkman Productions and would be nothing without the support of the Discordonians. You know who you are. So until the same time next week, take care of yourself gently and remember, it's okay to simply be.